This bigger than ever, Mickey Mantle in my hand, but it's not just Superman, Batman, and G.I. Joe anymore. Two creative guys found a way to really cash in because there's an unlimited number of superheroes out there. Ka-ching. Liz Klayman on the Monday.
Why do you have that?
That's worth a lot of money.
They're not just for kids anymore. In fact, adults may be the biggest consumers of action figures around. The first, a G.I. Joe produced in 1964 by Hasbro in an attempt to market a toy to boys who wouldn't play with dolls. But action figures hit their peak in the 1970s and 80s, thanks in part to a blockbuster licensing deal.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
And Saturday morning cartoons.
By the power of Grayskull.
Today, action figures are a $1.3 billion business and one of the few segments of the toy industry that actually grew in 2005, thanks in part to the same adults that had them as kids.
The majority of people who are buying those products are in their 20s and in their 30s, and they're really not little kids anymore.
Adults are buying action figures like never before.
The simple question, and I think it's throughout the entire toy industry, is why do they stop making stuff for you once you get past the age of 8 or 10?
McFarlane Toys is the 5th largest action figure manufacturer in the U.S.
Send over the...
Todd McFarlane is the CEO.
The audience that I sell to is less about play action as it is about getting it right.
McFarlane Toys started in 1994 when Todd could not find a toy maker who would give him the creative freedom he wanted to produce a line of figures based on his popular Spawn comic book character.
I'd rather do this on my own and get limited success and make it look and appeal to an older audience with the detail and sort of, you know, the minutia that they're looking for.
What Todd McFarlane did is completely revolutionize the action figure industry.
Todd McFarlane definitely, if you're talking about just a steady seller that's going to be year after year doing very well, that is really the biggest name in action figures.
And what he did was basically say, I'm going to bring toys into the 21st century.
If you look at the people who collect the sports and the people who collect the music and the people who collect the movie stuff, they actually all look for the same thing, which is just, Todd, get it right.
Maybe the ultimate adult action figure is a perfect reproduction of yourself, a growing part of the business.
Birthdays, special birthdays, 40, 50, events. It could be for a corporate exec who's retiring. That's very big. We get a lot of that. Everyone wants to be an action figure.
Emil Vical is president of Hero Builders, and for a $425 initial cost, says he gets some strange requests.
An exotic male dancer calls. He wants to know if we make anatomically correct action, or would we do that. At the time, we didn't do that. So I said, of course we would. So his comment was, well, do you want a picture? And I said, no, small, medium, or large. I pretty much know what they look like.
Emil's next product will actually put you into your favorite movie.
So you can now be in your favorite scene of the greatest movies ever made.
So does being an adult that buys and collects action figures make you a geek?
It doesn't mean that because there's toys there that he's a geek and he's collecting toys. It just means that he's just saying, I like that stuff.
We don't need to just go from 18 to being hardcore adult. We can sort of have fun with our lives. We can have a balance. We can collect our action figures, do the stuff that we did that made us happy as children.
It's really no different than wearing a t-shirt with a logo or putting on a ball cap that has a logo.
It's become basically a very easy way to demonstrate your likes or dislikes, and it's a very nice conversation piece for just about anyone.
It's just another way of expressing the individual things that they like at the end of their 9-to-5 workday.
For a struggling toy industry, score one for the little guy. Pint-sized heroes live up to their name. For On the Money, I'm Liz Klayman.
And that's all for tonight.